Just wanted to say hello to everybody before I come on for the morning session as well. I'm Bob Goldman. Just so you know, we started this organization years ago, and actually Ron was the person who came up with the term anti-aging medicine, and Business Week dubbed him the guru of anti-aging medicine. So it's been a long, hard journey and travel around the world in order to try and get this concept to be accepted globally. But, you know, being a pioneer, you get a lot of arrows stuck in your back, and now what's happened is the tide has really turned, and now people are no longer opposing in the same fashion. Now they're actually trying to copy. So, you know, at the beginning you start out as a pundit, and at the end, instead of calling you an oddball, then they start to call you, boy, how did you get in the right place at the right time? So it's been a long, hard journey, but it's a testament to many of you here who have come out to learn about what will be the true future of medicine. Now I'll give you the real Dr. Klatz.
Thank you, everyone. Yeah, as Dr. Goldman so apropos, how appropriately stated, you know, when you start out with all this stuff, you're really outside the box. And you are considered by many a little strange, but then as you become more and more successful as the movement develops, all of a sudden you become lucky. So you're all quite lucky here, by the way. Congratulations, you've chosen very well, because anti-aging medicine is clearly the fastest growing and the best hope for the future of medicine worldwide. And I hope to tell you a little bit more about that in my presentation. You know, in 1999, I used this slide in a lecture in 1999. And I was talking about the bridge to practical immortality. I was talking about the bridge to the future. I was talking about the potential for lifespans in perhaps the year 2050 to 2095. Perhaps lifespans of 150 to 200 years, and that seemed quite amazing and quite impossible in the year 1999. But certainly in the year 1999, there was at least one woman who was pushing the envelope, Renee Calmet, who lived to be almost 123. So we know that lifespans of 120 are certainly possible. And so in 1999, we were looking at a general population with a lifespan of 80 years of age. In the pharmaceutical pipeline, in that year, there were almost 700 drugs that were under development by the biotech industry that had, to some extent, and to a very large extent, the potential to combat the diseases of aging. We were looking at the very beginnings, the very earliest phases of stem cell intervention, DNA repair, telomerase drugs, the hope for genetic medicine, and the development of artificial organs. And so it was not an impossibility to talk about this potential for practical immortality, this potential for average lifespans, the average lifespans of 100, 110, 120. It certainly was far forward thinking back in 1999, but not an impossibility. And today, this non-impossibility is becoming more and more a reality, because we are seeing populations of people, certain populations that are growing older and healthier and more vibrant and achieving prodigious lifespans thanks to the technologies of anti-aging medicine. And I would like to say that 20 years ago, I'd have never believed how far anti-aging medicine could progress, how much we could achieve, and how universally we would succeed. Realized back then that in our inception, the inception of the American Academy of Anti-Aging Medicine in 1992, physicians were losing their licenses and their clinics were being raided at gunpoint by the feds simply for these forward-thinking doctors applying to their patients safe and effective nutritional therapies such as vitamin A, vitamin C, vitamin E, and other non-toxic therapies. I could never have imagined just how far we would come 20 years later. Now that the year 2012 looms large in front of us, our ultimate goal of dramatic life extension, youthful prolongation of lifespan via stem cells, antioxidants, drugs, hormone replacement therapy, growth factors, genetic engineering, and more, is finally at hand. Any one of these can deliver dramatic enhancements in extending both the human health span and the human lifespan. But in September of 2001, this movement hit a speed bump. The promise of now some 800 new drugs under development, almost all of which are directed at the infirmities and diseases of aging, along with a rapidly emerging biotech science industry, was to take a backseat to a new imperative of American life: war. The demographics of the past 10 years show conclusively that things have, in fact, changed. Suddenly, anti-aging medicine is not about living longer and having a more fulfilled and more abundant lifespan. No, today we are challenged with our own temporal survival. Something has stolen our bright and unlimited future, and frankly, I'm not very happy about it. Now we must redirect our efforts and focus from a healthy aging to rather surviving the new threats of environmental and industrial toxins being dumped upon us by accident, by arrogance, by ignorance, or possibly by design. We, the physicians of the anti-aging medicine movement, must survive so that we may reclaim our lost future for ourselves, for our patients, and for humanity.